Lucas, an ordinary scientist, discovers a portal to a parallel universe where Earth is on the brink of destruction. As he navigates this new world, he encounters a civilization that mirrors the moral complexities of humanity. Alliances are tested and the distinction between good and evil blurs. How far would you go when ethics and survival collide in an alternate reality? If you want to dive into real stories of parallel realities every day, in enigmatic, technological worlds that are completely different from our planet, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Well, let's go. The Emerald Planet Sonar, home to the Sonari, had always been a beacon of tranquility. Nestled within the serene depths of the Elysian Belt, Sonar was a world where harmony was more than just an ideal, it was a way of life. The Sonari were a race of ethereal beings, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like the surface of a tranquil sea. Their eyes, deep and expressive, seemed to hold the secrets of the universe within their cerulean depths. The Sonari were peaceful by nature, devoid of military ambitions and conflicts. Their technology was primarily focused on enhancing their meditative, serene lifestyles and maintaining the ecological balance of their idyllic world. As the twin sons of Sonar began their descent, casting ethereal hues of green and gold across the landscape, the Sonari wrapped up their daily rituals. They gathered around the colossal tree of Connexus, believed to be the nexus of all life on Sonar, to meditate and exchange thoughts in a collective consciousness, a practice that bound them together with invisible yet potent threads of unity and compassion. But tranquility would shatter in an instant. Without warning, the ground beneath them, once as stable as the cosmic cycles they revered, began to tremble with unprecedented ferocity. The seismic upheavals tore through the planet's surface, splitting the crust with frightening speed and intensity. Mountains crumbled and forests were swallowed whole as massive chasms opened up. Lakes boiled away into nothingness under the surge of pyroclastic flows, and the once serene sky was darkened by a thick pall of volcanic ash. The harmony that had reigned for millennia broke down into chaos as the Sonari, caught off guard, struggled to comprehend the magnitude of the catastrophe unfolding around them. Amid the chaos, Alarian, a senior council member of the Sonari, took charge. Alarian was distinguished not just by the white hue of his luminescent skin, a sign of age and wisdom among his people, but also by his unwavering dedication to the collective good of Sonar. With a voice that commanded respect and attention, he activated their network of interconnected thought, trying to bring order to the chaos. The urgency of their disposition sent out a unified plea for aid, broadcasting their distress across the galactic expanse. The distress signals, laden with the collective anguish and desperation of the Sonari, traversed the electromagnetic waves, reaching out into the depths of space. Sonar's cries painted a vivid picture of the once thriving civilization now standing on the brink of annihilation. These were not just cries for assistance, they were emotional echoes of a dying world, imploring for salvation. In the vast cosmos, the distress signals of the Sonari reached the ears of many powerful civilizations. The industrious Varkon with their planet-forging capabilities, the ancient and wise Olvan who possessed knowledge spanning eons, and the technologically supreme Zith were among those who received the distress cries. Yet, to the dismay of the Sonari, these powerful civilizations turned a blind eye. The celebrated leaders of these races convened in their grand chambers, weighing the risks versus the rewards of intervening in Sonar's plight. Calculations and cold logic deemed the Sonari insignificant, not worthy of the resources and effort required for a large-scale rescue operation. Unperturbed by the inaction of their mighty neighbors, the Sonari's distress signals spread further, driven by sheer desperation. Amidst the cosmic sea, these signals reached an obscure and remote human outpost on the fringes of explored space, a small station named Outpost Delta 5. Here, a team of dedicated humans, led by Commander Alara Drayden, oversaw operations. Alara, a resilient and pragmatic leader with short-cropped auburn hair and piercing hazel eyes, had a strong moral compass and an unyielding belief in the value of all life. The distress signal played out on the main console, filling the small command center with the haunting plea of the Sonari. Alara's immediate response was one of profound empathy and determination. She knew what it felt like to be overlooked by powerful entities, having grown up on a struggling colony herself. Instinctively, she felt a kinship with the Sonari's plight. She rallied her crew with a sense of urgency and purpose. The outpost, although remote and limited in resources, was inhabited by some of humanity's best engineers and scientists. They were a diverse group, united by their pursuit of knowledge and exploration. Lewis Carter, the chief engineer, was a genius with an affinity for solving the unsolvable. His inventive mind, hidden behind a facade of unruly curly hair and an easygoing demeanor, soon became the linchpin of the rescue preparations. Carter's innovative designs and retrofitting skills would be crucial to navigating the treacherous conditions on Sonar. Against all odds, they repurposed their scientific vessels, transforming them into adaptable rescue ships capable of enduring the planet's extreme conditions. The atmosphere around Outpost Delta 5 buzzed with heightened activity as preparations reached a frenetic pace. The quantum reactors hummed as they were pushed to their limits, and the corridors were filled with the determined voices of the crew, each member playing a vital role in the upcoming mission. Despite their determination, humanity's efforts did not go unnoticed. The mightier species, particularly those with vested interests in maintaining the status quo, expressed vehement disapproval. They saw the human endeavor as futile and potentially destabilizing for the region's delicate political balance. Nevertheless, Alara and her team remained undeterred. They believed that turning a blind eye to suffering, no matter how insignificant a race might seem, was the antithesis of humanity's core values. Their journey to Sonar would be anything but smooth. As the Armada approached the beleaguered planet, they were met with chilling scenes of devastation. The seismic storms ravaging Sonar were unlike anything recorded in their databanks. Massive tectonic shifts rendered navigation a perilous challenge, and the planet's atmosphere, filled with ash and toxic gases, required the human fleet to constantly adapt their shielding and life support systems. Each hour passing on Sonar was an eternity of uncertainty, adrenaline, and heartbreak. The humans, floating above the ruins, orchestrated an intricate dance of rescue missions amidst relentless seismic activity. Landfall missions were executed with precision, as drones and manned crews ventured into crumbling cities to save the surviving Sonari. Through the thick veil of destruction, glimpses of the Sonari's once majestic architecture, now reduced to fragmented memories, emerged. The juxtaposition of beauty and devastation intensified their resolve. Amid the operational chaos, the ethical dilemmas faced by Alara and her team became increasingly complex. Questions of resource allocation, triage decisions, and the imperative to protect their own crew while still maximizing the rescue of Sonari civilians weighed heavily on their conscience. Far in a remote corner of the galaxy, the small human outpost named Aegis 5 floats amidst the backdrop of a nebula with hues of violet and gold. The outpost, though modest in size, stands as a beacon of human resilience and a testament to the species' relentless pursuit of knowledge and exploration. Its metallic structures shimmer under the light of a distant sun, and its perimeter bristles with an array of antennas and satellite dishes, continually sifting through the cosmic noise for any sign of contact or discovery. The humans residing on Aegis 5, a diverse assembly of scientists, engineers, medics, and explorers, are united by a common purpose: the advancement of their understanding of the universe. They operate in a rhythm defined by the cycles of their research, ever eager to uncover new truths. The outpost's command center is a hive of activity, filled with the hum of machinery and the soft glow of holographic displays projecting streams of data. One quiet evening, as the stars blink into existence on the vast canvas of space, an unusual signal breaches the usual symphony of cosmic whispers. It arrives as a series of distress calls, echoing desperation in a language foreign but not indecipherable. The message is from the Sonari, a species known more in historical texts than through modern interactions. Their plight, a cataclysmic end wrought by seismic upheavals, pierces the usual scientific detachment of the human crew, particularly resonating with Dr. Elena Ramirez, the outpost's chief linguist and xenocultural expert. Elena, a woman in her early 40s, has spent her career bridging the vast silences between stars with understanding and empathy. Her eyes, sharp and penetrating, scan the distress call's nuances, translating the emotional weight embedded in the cryptic language. The Sonari, described as delicate beings once thriving in harmony, now face obliteration. The haunting imagery of their world crumbling weaves its way through the technical jargon, compelling Elena to take swift action. Elena swiftly convenes an emergency meeting of the outpost's leaders, where an intense debate unfolds. Captain Marcus Thorne, a veteran explorer and the commanding officer of Aegis-5, is a man whose bearing and seasoned decision-making have often steered them clear of danger. With piercing blue eyes and a presence that commands respect, he stands at the helm of this moral quandary. His approach, though pragmatic, is often laced with the compassion that has earned him the loyalty of his crew. The room hums with the tension of the moment, as Captain Thorne listens to Elena's impassioned plea. She argues that ignoring the Sonari's desperate cries would betray their fundamental principles. Across the table, Chief Engineer Sarah Kwan, known for her resourcefulness and often wry humor, furrows her brow. Balancing their limited resources against the enormity of the task at hand, she reaffirms that while their capabilities are strained, their resolve is not. Captain Thorne's decision is final. They will embark on a rescue mission. The directive sets the outpost into a frenzy of activity. Human ingenuity comes to the fore. Dr. Henry O'Connor, a renowned physicist with a penchant for solving impossible problems, works closely with Sarah to retrofit their ships for the harsh conditions of the Sonari's environment. His grizzled face, marked by years of exposure to cosmic rays, reflects the gravity of this undertaking. The scientists devise atmospheric stabilizers and structural support modules, all while adhering to tight deadlines imposed by the deteriorating situation on Sonar. The outpost's launch bay transforms into a scene of organized chaos. Cargo bays are filled with supplies, medical kits, and portable environmental suits designed to withstand seismic shocks and unstable atmospheres. The mood is a blend of urgency and hope. Crew members, many of whom have formed bonds over years of exploration, exchange determined nods, steeling themselves for the perilous journey ahead. At the helm of the flagship, Endeavour, Captain Thorne gazes across his assembled team. Each face, set with a mix of resolve and apprehension, mirrors his own. Elena, standing nearby, offers a silent affirmation of their course. The launch sequence begins, and as the ships ascend into the uncharted darkness, the outpost falls silent, its hopes pinned on those who dare to venture where despair looms. The journey to Sonar spans several tense days, as the human convoy navigates through unstable asteroid fields and cosmic radiation belts, their progress tracked by the ever-distant light of stars. The crew remains vigilant, their senses heightened by the knowledge of their mission's gravity. Conversations are filled with speculation about the Sonari culture, their history, and the potential impact of this intervention. Dr. Elena Ramirez, in her quiet moments, reflects on the ethical dimensions of their task. Rescuing a civilization from extinction brings into question their right to interfere, even with good intentions. Upon arrival, the sight of Sonar is harrowing. The once glorious Emerald Planet is now a maelstrom of chaos, with seismic fissures scattering across its surface like jagged scars. The atmosphere churns with dust and debris, and the sun hangs low in the sky, casting a pall over the desolation. The humans brace themselves for the demanding task ahead. The rescue teams, equipped with advanced environmental suits and atmospheric stabilizers, descend into the volatile terrain. Dr. Elena Ramirez leads the charge, her linguistic prowess crucial for communicating with the panicked Sonari. The Sonari themselves, delicate and ethereal beings with iridescent skin and large, expressive eyes, are initially wary of their saviors. Their fragility contrasts sharply with the humans' robust gear, yet their distress transcends species barriers. As the first of the humans make contact, the Sonari's initial apprehension softens into tentative hope. Dr. Ramirez, through gestures and the rudimentary application of the Sonari language, reassures them. The rescue operations are orchestrated with precision. Medics administer first aid to the injured, while engineers employ portable stabilizers to prevent further collapses. The atmosphere is tense, every moment a race against the planet's inevitable demise. Within the tumult, moments of profound connection occur. Elena finds herself speaking to Seller, a Sonari elder whose wisdom is apparent in his milky white eyes and composed demeanor. Through fractured communication, she learns of the Sonari's storied history, their reverence for balance, and the sorrow of their imminent end. Seller's words, filled with a quiet dignity, impress upon Elena the weight of their mission, not just as a rescue, but as a preservation of a rich, albeit fragile, legacy. However, amidst this operation of mercy, ominous signs surface. Long-range sensors aboard Endeavour detect unidentified vessels approaching at high velocity. Captain Thorne's suspicions are soon confirmed. Galactic pirates, scavengers who prey upon the vulnerable in times of crisis, have arrived. The pirates' arrival brings a new layer of danger. The obsidian expanse of space was punctuated by flashes of light as the human armada navigated the treacherous path to Sonar. The deteriorating atmosphere of the beleaguered planet caressed their ships, sending shudders through the metallic hulls. Commander Julia Randall, a stalwart leader with steel-gray eyes and a demeanor forged in the crucible of countless missions, stood on the bridge of the flagship, the Starfinder. Her gaze remained fixed on the turbulent world below, where seismic storms raged like an enraged titan. The humans were well aware of the challenges they faced upon reaching Sonar. Retrofitting their vessels to withstand the planet's violent tremors and corrosive air had been no small feat. The engineering teams, led by the resourceful chief engineer Dr. Marcus Thorne, had toiled tirelessly, innovating on the fly to ensure the mission's survival. Thorne, with his wiry frame and sharp intellect, exuded a relentless drive that spurred his team towards breakthroughs against all odds. Reinforcing the ship's hulls with composite alloys and upgrading life support systems were just the beginning. As the atmosphere grew ever more volatile, humanity's resolve only strengthened. The sight of Sonar's crumbling cities and the palpable desperation in their distress signals galvanized each crew member's commitment. However, even as they rallied to the rescue, an unexpected threat emerged: galactic pirates. These marauders, sensing an opportunity amidst the chaos, had set their sights on exploiting Sonar's strife. Their grotesque vessels, bristling with weapons and bearing the marks of countless plunders, darted menacingly through the void. In the war room of the Starfinder, holograms flickered to life, displaying strategic maps and enemy positions. Commodore Randall convened an emergency meeting, her voice carrying the gravity of their predicament. The pirates were relentless, their intentions clear. They sought to loot whatever remained of Sonar's resources, uncaring of the Sonari's plight. Major Kira Holt, a battle-hardened officer with a reputation for tactical brilliance, proposed a dual approach: A contingent of ships would focus on the evacuation of the Sonari, while another would engage the pirate threat. Her intense gaze and unyielding resolve enraptured the room, compelling agreement. The Starfinder, leading the evacuation fleet, descended into Sonar's atmosphere, its retrofitted shields repelling the acidic rain. Shuttles deployed, guided by precision instruments to reach the most desperate pockets of Sonari survivors. The Sonari, gentle beings with bioluminescent skin and delicate, leaf-like appendages, gazed in awe and trepidation as the humans arrived. Their whispered thanks, though fragile, echoed with gratitude. Meanwhile, the combat fleet, under Major Holt's command, squared off against the pirate armada. The ensuing conflict was a ballet of light and destruction. Aurora beams from human ships sliced through the void, their impacts illuminating the darkness like celestial fireworks. From a control deck aboard the ship Valor's Edge, Tactical Officer Liam Varick barked commands, coordinating maneuvers with rapid-fire precision. Varick, known for his tactical acumen, had an uncanny ability to predict enemy moves, a trait that proved invaluable in this dire confrontation. The pirates, armed with scavenged technology and driven by greed, fought back ferociously. Their leader, a hulking Braskarian named Zarix, bellowed orders from his command vessel, the Ironclad. Zarix, his reptilian visage marred by countless battles, exuded malevolence. He relished in the chaos, seeking both plunder and domination. His rasping voice carried through the comms, a harbinger of relentless assault. The humans, however, leveraged the planet's own volatility as a weapon. Lieutenant Ava Imani, a geologist with a deep understanding of sonar's seismic activity, devised a daring plan. By triggering controlled tremors in strategic areas, they could create natural barriers and destabilize pirate formations. Under her guidance, tremor charges were deployed with surgical precision, sending shockwaves through the ground that annihilated enemy positions. As battles raged above, evacuation efforts below continued with grim resolve. Humanity's resilience faced severe tests. The Sonari, though frail, assisted where they could, their bioluminescence providing eerie, yet vital, light in the darkness. Medical crew members like Dr. Elena Michaels, with gentle hands and boundless patience, tended to the wounded, both human and Sonari, forging bonds of empathy amidst the ruins. Yet, the conflict exacted a heavy toll. The pirates, desperate and vicious, managed to inflict grievous damage. The Valor's Edge was critically hit, a cascade of explosions echoing through its halls. Varick, despite his tactical brilliance, found himself pinned under debris, his situation dire. With a fierce determination, he issued his final commands, ensuring the defense line held firm. Commodore Randall's voice crackled through the comms, a beacon of steely resolve. Orders to retreat and regroup were issued. The evacuation shuttles, now brimming with Sonari refugees, were escorted back to the waiting fleet. Pirates, though lingering, were scattered, their initial fervor dampened by humanity's relentless defense. In the thick of this maelstrom, the humans faced ethical dilemmas that cut to the core of their mission. Dr. Michaels, witnessing the Sonari's utter defenselessness, grappled with questions of intervention and sovereignty. What right had they, as outsiders, to shape the destiny of this alien race? Yet, faced with extinction, was inaction a greater sin? Engineers like Thorne battled their own demons, feeling the weight of prioritizing technology over immediate aid, even as lives hung in the balance. As the last of the Sonari were ferried to safety, humanity's ships began their ascent, leaving the beleaguered planet behind. The pirates, though not eradicated, were driven back, their lust for easy prey thwarted by humanity's iron will. The Starfinder's bridge was a scene of weary triumph. Commodore Randall, though stoic, felt a flicker of pride. They had succeeded against overwhelming odds, their mission of mercy marred by sacrifice but underscored by unyielding resolve. A deep, resonant silence enveloped the crew. More than just relief, it was a profound understanding of the magnitude of their actions. As the Armada regrouped in the cold embrace of space, the interstellar communications channel buzzed with fragmented words of gratitude from the Sonari leaders. Their messages were tinged with awe, respect, and a newfound hope, a testament to the species spanning solidarity forged in the fires of adversity. Yet, the journey was far from over. They faced the monumental task of ensuring the Sonari not only survived but thrived on a new world. Ethical questions loomed larger than ever. As the remains of the Sonar civilization teetered on the brink of annihilation, the human armada found itself amidst an increasingly chaotic battlefield. Alarms blared within the walls of their retrofitted ships, each crew member thrust into immediate action. The violent seismic activity continued to ripple through the planet's surface, sending debris flying and hastening the world's collapse. Above, in the rapidly darkening sky, colossal ships maneuvered with a warring precision. Captain Elena Ross, a leader forged by both intellect and enduring spirit, stood resolute on the command bridge of the UHN Resolute. She gazed at the holographic battlefield display that flickered with the insignia of friend and foe alike. Her eyes, once a calm blue, now reflected the urgency of their mission and the stakes at play. The pirate armada had arrived with overwhelming force, their sleek and predatory vessels outnumbering the human ships. These marauders were merciless, driven by motives both avaricious and ruthless, eager to strip the dying planet of whatever resources remained. Their ships cut through the volatile atmosphere like ominous, dark specters. The humans, however, had prepared for this contingency. With a mix of guile and bravery, they turned the planet's volatile geography into an advantage. The engineers aboard Resolute had devised a plan to use the unstable tectonic plates to create controlled explosions, strategically manipulating the environmental chaos to counter the pirates. The mission had now transformed from a simple act of rescue into a tactical engagement that combined scientific ingenuity with raw grit. Lieutenant Joshua Lee, a brilliant engineer with a keen understanding of environmental patterns, orchestrated the plan's execution. His heart raced as he fed real-time data into the Resolute's systems, coordinating with teams on the ground to detonate seismic charges. Each calculated explosion sent ripples through the terrain, creating fault lines that hindered the pirate ship's navigational systems. The landscape of Sonar became a treacherous, living labyrinth, where patches of ground erupted and sank in rapid succession. The pirate vessels struggled to maintain stability while simultaneously dodging human counterattacks. Amidst this, the humans worked unrelentingly to evacuate the beleaguered Sonari. Fleeing families were herded into secure zones, awaiting transport to the evac ships hovering just above the planet's surface. Dr. Amelia Vargas, head of the humanitarian mission, darted between groups of Sonari, her medical team administering aid and ensuring swift boarding. Her hair, once tied methodically in a bun, now fell loose in the pandemonium, her face etched with both resolve and fatigue. Each load of evacuees carried a heavy emotional toll, the haunting cries of the Sonari blended with the ongoing battle's cacophony. Their faces, elongated and delicate, showed a spectrum of emotions from stark terror to glimmers of hope as the humans ushered them to safety. The Sonari had eyes like pools of deep, reflective serenity, now marred by the shadows of despair. The pirates, noticing the effective countermeasures, intensified their assault. The flagship of their fleet, the Black Vortex, directed its firepower towards the human evac ships, hoping to break their lifeline of rescue. Plasma beams cut through the sky, connecting ship to ship in deadly lines of light. The human fighters, smaller and more agile, darted between laser fire, often coordinating in tight maneuvers to draw the enemy's attention away from the evac zones. Lieutenant Miguel Ortega, a pilot renowned for his sharp instincts and nerves of steel, engaged the black vortex directly. His craft, the Viper 9, danced through the flurry of enemy fire. He utilized his extensive knowledge of aerodynamics to perform daring aerial acrobatics, drawing the enemy's ire and creating openings for other human vessels to strike. Every successful hit on a pirate ship was met with a momentary cheer within the Resolute's command center, but each loss was felt deeply. The names of fallen comrades spread like whispers, a grim reminder of the mission's cost. Bodies and wreckages littered the planet, a mosaic of sacrifice painted against the backdrop of destruction. On the surface, the Sonari Council, a group of elder statesmen and women, clung to their ethos of peace even amidst the escalating violence. Their intricate robes, adorned with symbols of their culture and heritage, flowed as they moved with a grace that belied the urgency of their actions. They worked alongside the humans to ensure that every possible life was saved, a testament to their unwavering commitment to their people. A particularly violent tremor rocked the surface, splitting the ground near one of the primary extraction points. A Sonari child, separated from his group, clung to a fragmenting ledge, his wails piercing the air. Reacting without hesitation, Captain Ross herself donned a hazard suit and descended to the surface, determined to save the child. The ground quaked beneath her, but Alina's focus remained unwavering. She reached the child, his large, expressive eyes meeting hers with a mix of fear and gratitude. Lifting him into her arms, she made a desperate dash back to the extraction point. The ground crumbled in her wake, but a timely assist from a fellow officer, who provided cover fire, allowed them to board an evac shuttle just in time. As they ascended, she could see the vast network of ships weaving a tapestry of hope and peril above the dying world. The climax of the conflict saw the pirates mounting a final, ruthless offensive. They sought to break the human spirit, targeting the Central Command ship. Captain Ross, reboarding the Resolute, coordinated a defensive formation that would shield the remaining evac shuttles. The human fleet, though battered, formed an unbreakable phalanx, their ships interlocking in a defiant stand. In the heart of the battle, Miguel's Viper 9 pierced through the pirate lines, launching a salvo of torpedoes into the black vortex. The explosions rippled through the massive ship, causing cascading failures within its system. The crippled ship began to list, its defeat apparent. The remaining pirate vessels, witnessing the fall of their flagship, broke formation and retreated into the cosmic void, their morale shattered. But victory came at a grave cost. The human fleet, though successful, bore the scars of the battle. Hulls were ruptured, life support systems flickered perilously, and the casualty lists grew long. The evacuation was in its final stages, with only the last shuttles making their way up from sonar. The air grew quieter, charged with the somber aftermath of conflict. The mission, despite its triumph, left an indelible mark on those who survived. As the final evacuation ship illuminated the darkness, the reality of their losses settled in. The rescue mission had prevailed, but with deep sacrifices. The human armada, though victorious, faced the sobering realization of the price of their compassion. The saga of grim determination and unyielding hope reaches a defining moment as the human fleet, now weathered and strained, surveys the new beginnings they have sculpted. The Sonari survivors, eyes filled with awe and relief, begin to acclimate to their newfound sanctuary, a verdant planet untouched by the scars of their previous world's destruction. The humans, weary but resolute, commence the arduous task of establishing a settlement that respects the serene harmony intrinsic to Sonari culture while providing the necessities for their survival. Constructing shelters becomes a dance of careful consideration, blending human innovation with Sonari aesthetics. Lightweight but durable structures arise, merging seamlessly with the planet's lush foliage. The humans leverage advanced nanotechnology to promote symbiotic relationships between the materials and the environment, ensuring minimal ecological disruption. Solar panels, disguised as flowering canopies, collect the planet's abundant sunlight, proof of a harmonious blend of necessity and natural beauty. As days turn to weeks, humanity and Sonari engage in a poignant exchange of knowledge and culture. The Sonari, naturally empathetic and nurturing, teach humans about their time-honored sustainability practices, from meticulous water conservation techniques to their sacred rituals promoting environmental stewardship. In return, humans introduce advanced medical technologies, enhancing Sonari health and longevity, and demonstrate the sophisticated art of strategic defense without compromising their ethos of peace. The heart of this collaboration finds its pulse in a shared respect and an unspoken understanding. Humans craft defensive measures that align with the Sonari's peaceful essence. They develop unobtrusive surveillance systems using bioluminescent plants, providing early warning signs of potential threats without compromising the serene landscape. Energy shields, fueled by geothermal energy harnessed deep within the planet's crust, become invisible guardians, protecting the nascent community from external threats. Interstellar communications relays are established, ensuring that the plight and hope of the Sonari reach far-flung corners of the galaxy. The once desolate cries of a doomed civilization now transform into beacons of resilience and cooperation. This endeavor does not go unnoticed. Other species, previously indifferent or cynical, begin to take heed. The alliance between humans and Sonari becomes a symbol of unprecedented unity, a testament to the strength found in compassion and solidarity. In the quiet evenings beneath unfamiliar constellations, humans and Sonari gather to reflect and build bonds forged in the fires of adversity. Leaders from both species share stories, hopes, and dreams, envisioning a future where galactic discourse shifts from dominance and exploitation to empathy and mutual progress. The air thrums with the echoes of songs, an amalgam of human and Sonari melodies, that speak of shared journeys and newfound hope. Yet, the tranquility is punctuated by inevitable challenges. There are attempts by galactic opportunists to undermine this budding alliance, perceiving the fledgling settlement as vulnerable. However, the defensive measures, coupled with a united front of both human ingenuity and Sonari wisdom, rebuff these threats time and again. Every repelled attack fortifies their resolve, showcasing that strength need not come from aggression but from a united will to protect and nurture. As the seasons change, the settlement thrives, becoming a vibrant testament to what can be achieved when disparate cultures not only coexist but complement each other in their pursuit of a shared vision. The humans, having learned the value of the Sonari's gentle resilience, adopt a more profound respect for the natural order. The Sonari, in turn, grow more adept at utilizing technology, not as a crutch but as a harmonious extension of their ethos. The galactic community watches as this alliance blossoms, and sentiments begin to shift. Once mighty races become introspective, reevaluating their own paradigms of power and dominance. Diplomatic envoys from distant planets arrive, seeking to understand and possibly emulate the success of this human-Sonari collaboration. The guiding principles of empathy, respect, and mutual growth start to ripple outward, challenging millennia-held beliefs about interstellar relations. In a grand ceremony marking the first year of their union, a monument is unveiled, a blend of Sonari crystal artistry and human metalwork, symbolizing their journey from despair to hope. It stands as a beacon, not just for those on the planet but for all who traverse the stars, drawing them towards a narrative that celebrates empathy over enmity, cooperation over conquest. The legacy of this mission, fraught with sacrifice and unwavering resolve, reverberates across the cosmos. Humans and Sonari alike find strength not in might but in their shared humanity and collective aspiration for a better universe. The moral fabric of the galaxy subtly but inevitably begins to shift, recognizing that true heroism lies not in the hands of the powerful but in the hearts of those who dare to believe in a compassionate future. And thus, the story concludes, leaving an indelible mark upon the reader's soul. What does it truly mean to be strong? In witnessing the trials and triumphs of these unlikely allies, we find an answer that transcends the stars, urging us to rethink our own perceptions of power and unity. If you liked this story based on real events, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like it. Here you can dive into a different reality every day, where anything can happen. Comment below what kind of story you would like to hear here. Thank you very much for your attention. We are the Sci-Fi family.